everyone, so this video is going to be another kind of discussion video. I'm not in my room, I am in my living room because it is hot in there and not the best lighting on here, but we're gonna make it work. Anyway, so today I had planned, I'm looking down because I have notes down here, so don't mind me. But I planned on making a completely different video today, but I'll probably we'll leave that till next Tuesday or something. But this whole mess about this video that this one booktuber decided to put out there about how diversity in books is basically not needed and just the dumbest thing that she has ever heard. I make a whole bunch of different kinds of videos on my channel. I make book reviews, I do reactions. Lately I've been talking a lot about K-pop. I did a whole thing about Shadowhunters like a few months ago when that was airing, and so one of the things that I've been wanting to do more of on my channel, I'm sorry, that's my door right there, but to have more discussion videos in particular about diversity. And so this video was the perfect opportunity for me to go ahead and create this one. I will put a link for this woman's video that she created down in the description if you would like to check that out. It is a 22-minute and 44-second long video basically spewing hate, and by now it has gathered thousands of views, and it is just a completely immoral and ignorant viewpoint that this woman has, and so it needs to be addressed. I've only seen a few response videos to this video, and I really felt that I needed to do one. I am very, very passionate about diversity and representation in media, in this case about books. It is the reason why I changed my major. I am now a media studies major. So I hope to one day pursue some kind of career where I can make a difference in regards to representation in media, because I honestly feel that it is one of the most important things ever. So for the first half of this video, I'm just going to discuss some of the things that she said in her video. Every single thing that she said was problematic. There was literally nothing that came out of her mouth was correct. She was very ignorant and there's a difference between being naive and being ignorant. Naive, you don't know any better. And ignorance is just straight up being unwilling to learn and accept that you were wrong, and this is what she was like. And not only were her words very hateful, but the way that she was speaking was just with such anger and with such she was very condescending for most of it, and it made me angry because it was just like, really, you're going to talk down to the rest of us who also read and who are also intellectuals, because apparently diversity equals non-intellectual, as she said at the end of her video. So within the first 5 minutes of her video, she went ahead and said, this word has been used as a weapon of the absolute worst kind. I hate this word. It is one of the worst words in the entire human existence. Diversity. This was within the first 5 minutes of her video. I only have a few things that she said here because I stopped after a while. She goes on to say the Islamic slave trade, which, by the way, was 10 times worse than the American slave trade, but no one ever asked for reparation from the Muslims. Why are you comparing the two? She goes on to say every single culture in existence has resisted diversity by means of killing each other, segregating one another, and saying it was immoral to even be around one another. Literally, only white people have done that throughout history. If you open a history textbook, it's all laid out for you. Just a few more things that she says. She just says, I don't give a rat's ass about diversity of race, diversity of ethnicity, and diversity of morals or values, and then spews a few more vulgar things after this. She isn't even trying to get around this. She says it is designed to degrade and segregate us. Overall, diversity of race, ethnicity is meaningless. So what she's basically saying is that my life, all of our lives as people of color, are meaningless. My life as a woman, my life as a Cuban Mexican American doesn't matter, according to her. My struggles and my triumphs as a, Latina, Chicana, whatever, don't matter, according to her, and my life is basically meaningless. I'm 20 years old, and I, for a few years now, have been learning more about what they basically don't teach you in history class when you're in high school. And so I took a Chicano studies class a couple semesters ago. I only took the one. I took a women's studies class, and you learn more about things. And then she goes on to use a couple short segments of an interview with Morgan Freeman. And so in the one, he is saying, he's getting interviewed. He basically says that he thinks Black History Month is ridiculous because why should Black history be relegated to 1 month? This was the complete opposite of what she was trying to say. So I don't know what she thought she was getting out of this interview, because that is not what she was trying to convey at all. So she uses Morgan Freeman. Then she goes on to use the quote from the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King Jr., where he says, basically to not be judged by your skin color. And she's like, yeah, that, you shouldn't judge me by my pale skin, or whatever she says. And it's like, that is not what Martin Luther King meant at all. This is something that people will do to try and twist the words of people working for social justice. So feminists, people that are protesting and fighting in the Black Lives Matter movement today. And so she's trying to twist all of these words to fit her racist way of thinking, and it's just kind of backfiring on her because it didn't make sense. And so I became very irritated when she used Martin Luther King Jr. because he is one of my favorite historical figures that I've ever read. I am such a nerd to the point where I made sure to take a picture with him at the Wax Museum in Las Vegas because... Anyways, besides the point. So then she goes on to talk about The Fault in Our Stars and how it was such a powerful book, and should John Green be, hated on for not including anybody but white characters? But she would say it like that, like very condescending, very rude, and I was just appalled by how she was speaking. Then she goes on to use V.E. Schwab as an example, and even on Twitter, V.E. Schwab was like, you know what, I have nothing to do with this video. Even the author that she was trying to use as an example was like, no. She goes on to use a whole bunch of random graphs and statistics that they weren't cited anywhere. I don't know where she got them. I still, same thing with the Morgan Freeman. I don't know how she thought that these graphs were supposed to help her argument. I don't know what she was trying to do. So then towards the end, she basically, with such anger, and she looked livid in this video, and she's like, in the end, you all basically want less white people, and you all, you're racist against white people. You cannot be racist to white people. Racism is systematic oppression. It is not prejudice. Those are two different things. Sure, you can be prejudiced towards white people, but racism, you cannot be racist to white people because it's white people that are racist to everybody else. Racism against white people is not being called a cracker. Racism is when you send thousands of Japanese Americans to internment camps because you are skeptical of the entirety of this people. Racism is threatening Mexican children to deport their parents for whatever it is that the cop has over the kid. Racism is refusing to change the name of the Redskins football team, even though it means when the white settlers would literally skin Native Americans. Racism is the treatment that Gabby Douglas got when she didn't put her hand over her heart, yet Ryan Lochte could vandalize property and lie about it and be called a kid. Racism is attacking Muslims 15 years ago and still today and still before that for an act of terrorism that had nothing to do with Islam. Racism is saying that when Mexico sends its people, it's not sending their best, and it's sending crime, drugs, and rapists. I can go on and on and on with more and more examples, but in the end, racism against white people does not exist. So now that I've discussed some of that, let's discuss why diversity is in fact extremely important in books and media everywhere. Possibly the most important and the most obvious response to this is that we live in a world where there's more than just white people. We live in a world that's very diverse. There are so many different cultures and religions and languages and people in this world. Diversity is also empowering. What if a little, Latina girl was reading a book as a kid, and the character in this book was a Latina woman, and she saves the world and she does something to make a difference in the world and society. And so this little girl reads this and she becomes motivated and inspired, and so she grows up with this mentality of, yeah, I can do this. I can be somebody. I can make a difference. If this person can do it in this book, in this certain piece of media that I read or saw or whatever, then so can I. Diversity also opens up discussion and understanding of people that are not just yourself. It opens up discussion, like I said, to new ideas and new. Why would you want to be stuck in this mentality? This single mentality? Why wouldn't you be open to new ways of thinking and new ways of exploring and just new ways of life? I absolutely love learning about new cultures. I hope to one day travel the world and make friends with people all over the globe. I love learning about new things, new cultures, new people. I love it. It's great because it's different, but at the same time, it's the same. Diversity in media, in this case in books, can save lives. Imagine you're somebody that's having a really difficult time in life, and you read a book where the character in that book is not only like you in the sense of maybe you're gay and the character is gay, maybe you're Hispanic or Black or Asian and so is that character, and they're going through the same struggles, they're dealing with the same issues, and at the end of the day, at the end of the book, they survive and they find the light at the end of the tunnel, and they decide to live their life with like vitality. The person reading it can be like, hey, they can do it. So can I. They're finding hope. They're finding a reason to live. So can I. Diversity is important because everybody deserves to be represented. Diversity in media and representation is not a privilege. It is a right that is not being given. Basically, at the end of the day, the reasons why diversity matters shouldn't even be a discussion because it should just be. And the fact that it still needs to be a discussion is reason why I am making this video, is reason why people are protesting. It's the reason why people are fighting for more diversity and more representation in media, in life, in jobs, in politics, and everything. I don't know why I'm suddenly reminded of that movie, Dear White People. Was it a movie or a TV show? But I'm just thinking, I'm like, why are you so afraid? What are you so threatened by? We as people of color are not going to do anything to hurt you. We're not going to do to you what you have been doing to us. We just want to exist. We just want to be represented. We are not going to put laws into place to make your life almost impossible. I promise. We won't do that. I promise. Now I am getting to the end of this video, and I am pretty sure that I did not get everything, and I'm sure that other people in other videos will have other things to say, but I hope that this video made some kind of impact for you. Share it, show it to your friends and stuff like that. These kinds of videos that I make where I discuss diversity and topics that are important are the ones that I am most proud of on my channel. I do, like I said in the beginning, I do all sorts of